What's up, y'all? I'm back with another review of Ready to Love Season 8, Episode 9. We still at the getaway. Before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and Sierra goes home. No surprise there. She didn't waste no time. Sierra said, "Thank you for your time. Have a nice day." Bounced all off in her little two-piece pink cute outfit. Jessica is offended because she was just called combative. Marie's whack. That's, pretty much how that goes because he's the one that relayed the message. Now, after deliberation is over, they all go back in the house, one little body at a time. Not everybody goes. Kat wasn't there, Lee wasn't there, but who was there? Quentin, Chris, Marie. I feel like Marie was already there. Did he leave the deliberation and go run and sit in the house? Marie was there, Aries and Phil, and of course Janelle and Jessica. So they're all sitting in a little room, and Chris sits down. He sits next to Marie and he asks how he's doing. And Janelle is like, "Why are we checking on Marie? Like, y'all are the men, but why are we not checking on Jessica?" And Chris is like, "Well, I mean, we can check on both of them." Chris is checking on Marie because Chris is the one that used the term combative on more than one occasion. But for whatever reason now, he doesn't want to stand in it. Is that why you don't want, a confrontational woman because you're a whole ass punk and you don't want to stand in your shit? Like, I don't even feel like I get why, let me say this. I get why she didn't appreciate being called combative, especially in a setting on a platform where on national television now people see her as a businesswoman as being combative. Being Black, you show up, and if you stand up for yourself, you're automatically angry and combative, and all of these, what is the other one they like? Aggressive. They like to use all these terms for us. So I understand why she was like, I know the hell he didn't just stand up there and call me combative. I have not seen her be combative. Maybe you are associating with a rather combative person and you're being grouped in with her bullshit. I often wonder, like, I mean, you got to like it a little bit because for me, somebody like Janelle I couldn't be around her like on a regular basis because she'd be doing too much all the time. And for whatever reason, you navigated towards her. And I can see why you wouldn't necessarily want to be grouped up with the pretty girl clique too. Like, I mean, I know they think they're so sweet and innocent because they talk soft and do those, very what did the girl say? Servitude and subservient type behavior, because they get all like, oh, I don't, that's not who Jessica is. So just because she don't want to parade around talking in a soft voice and, you know, catering to these niggas. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know you like that. Like, I don't need to see why I should even be doing all this extra work when I don't know you like that. Based on what y'all are saying, we just been texting. Ain't nobody even really been going on a whole lot of dates. So I feel like the expectation of, people changing their behaviors is a bit much. That's how I feel about that. So you got an African king and an activist sitting here looking a fool with their heads down because neither one of them want to cop to what it is they did and said. Maria asked Jessica how she felt. She says she gonna keep her combative mouth shut because clearly, if she voices her opinion, it's gonna count, against her in a way that she didn't even know she was presenting herself. I don't think she's combative. Nobody else there thinks she's combative. So, except for Chris, he's the only one that keeps using that term. I mean, where is the line? Like, if you don't want to talk in a sweet little like baby voice and giggle and act like you're dumb, like I think Jessica. I think Jessica is in a space where there's nobody there that gets into her feminine energy that makes her want to soften up. That's it. That's all. Is she capable of it? Probably. Does she come across a little stern and harsh? I don't even want to say harsh. She's just not warm and fuzzy. Like she definitely comes across very serious, very direct, and very stern. I mean, Jessica, niggas don't like that. So take that note. If you're out here trying to get linked up, you're probably gonna have to play stupid and do baby talk and stuff. Um, unless you find a man that can appreciate you for who you are. Ask them how they're comfortable calling a woman combative, based on what Black women go through. It's unfortunate that has to come to that whole, protect the Black woman, but I mean, there you go. There you go. Like, I mean, I get why they feel that way. Phil and Quentin immediately say, not everybody, they were like, it wasn't me. And I could hear Chris in the background saying he don't think that either. He's a full-face, bald-faced liar. Like, it would have been in his best interest to just shut up, but he's like joining in with the I didn't say it crew. And Mario is looking at him like, yeah, you did. He said it, Mario, but he didn't say it for you to go repeat it. I think they're both trash for different reasons. Mario keeps claiming that, I mean, what are you here for? Because he keeps claiming that Jessica is his top. Now, if he wanted to share that with her, he could have took her aside and said that to her. I don't know how he thought he could stand up there and call her combative. I feel like she's heard that before, not just from Chris. I feel like she hears often that she's not soft and that she's, and her demeanor. I don't think this is the first time she's heard that. She's probably hears, why don't you smile more, and all of those things that niggas say, to try to change who you are. I don't find her to be that off-putting, not as much as her friend. That's the only issue I have with her. I feel like had she not connected herself with Janelle, she might have be received differently. Not so much from Chris because he's a punk, but I mean from everybody else. Everybody is looking at her like, this is your homegirl though, so that means you must have a little bit of mess in you because this girl here likes the mess, for sure, for sure. Kat goes up there to visit the men's room, and let me just tell you, I don't know why in the world or how in the world I throw all of these niggas out because it is no reason why all of these grown ass men are sitting up in that room with clothes thrown all over everywhere. Didn't I just get there? How many days they been there? They only been there for a day. It's just been one night. Like, why is all this shit thrown all over the place? Clothes just on the floor, and all of y'all nasty. All y'all nasty. It didn't look like no adults was in the room. And Phil, they keep calling you unstable. And I don't know what that has anything to do with you and how messy you are, but you got a whole son. And I just, nobody coming to keep your house clean, Phil. Pick up your clothes. That shit was annoying. Kat came to check on Marie. Why, Kat? Why? Why do you think Marie needs so much attention? I like Kat, but she irritated me. She said eliminations are hard, and she also said that she didn't see no reason why people will be upset. If you don't like the word that people are using to describe you, then change your attitude. And like I said, she might need to change her attitude, but I don't think there's anybody here that she need to be changing her attitude for. Plain and simple. Marie's sitting there acting all somber like something happened to him. What is you upset for? Did nobody call you combative? Chris called her combative, but she didn't know that until you opened your big mouth. And you could have literally went out there and said everything but that. But I think you did it on purpose. And I'm not sure what your motive was. Maybe you didn't think that it was going to backfire on you the way it did. I feel like maybe you thought, oh, the heat was going to go to Chris. And now everybody's looking at you like, but what did you say that for? Because why did you? You knew her feelings were going to be hurt by it, but you said it anyway. And this is the person that's supposed to be your top connection. Kat keeps telling him how he did a great job and how, eliminations are hard. And she said the more she gets to know him, the more she feels connected to him. And she thinks that something, could really be there. No, you don't, girl. Stop lying. You don't like Marie. You just trying to last the longest, I guess. But if attach yourself to that clown to do it, I guess. Plus, you don't like Jessica. And I feel like as much as you try to talk sweet and innocent, you don't like Jessica more than you connected to Marie. That part is true. So if you feel like you can stick it to her and, because you already said the girl had a bad attitude, that she needs to change. Nobody wants to be told that they should change. And I think everybody probably can take a pause and grow and do better. But, don't tell that lady to change just because this clown over here don't. Maybe he should change. Maybe he's the one that needs to change. Just because I'm talking about Chris and Marie. Marie can keep doing what he's doing. Just, go and lay on your couch till 12:30-ish, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Jessica and Janelle go out to have a little talk. And Jessica is irritated. She says she's more upset that she says she's not bothered by being in the bottom, but she's more upset that this dude called her a coward and then wouldn't cop to it. Not a coward, combative. He called her combative and wouldn't cop to it. I think that's partially true. I think you're mad that he called you combative in front of everyone, because you don't want to be seen as the angry Black woman, even though you be acting kind of angry. I mean, Jessica, it's not coming out of nowhere. People are getting this vibe from you. I ain't saying you should change it. I'm just saying it's the truth. Like you give this vibe. And so that's what he's receiving. I don't know why combative is the term, though. Just because if I say, my part doesn't mean I'm combative. I get to have a point of view, Chris. But I think she was bothered by both. I think, yeah, she was bothered that he didn't cop to it, but I think she was bothered that it was said. And like I said, I feel like she's heard that before. So that just, makes it worse. I think she's tired of hearing it. I think she's tired of hearing how not soft she is, warm and fuzzy and things of that nature. Janelle asked how she felt about Marie, and she says she doesn't trust him, and she shouldn't trust him because Marie is not to be trusted. He's a bit conniving, if you asked me. Just the way he handled that situation, that was real calculated. You didn't go out there and accidentally say combative. Out of all the things that was said in that room about Jessica, that's the one thing you brought. And then you said some of the guys. That's some of the guys. Just one guy. Only one guy thinks that. So much so that she knows she's heard it before. And then they flash back to him saying, we've had a combative situation, but in his confessional, he says she was combative. So stop saying you didn't call her that because you did. We saw you do it. Mario said he worried about his connection with Jessica. Mario, you don't have a connection with Jessica. The connection was never there, and then it was super lost once you pulled out the tarot cards and your ex-girlfriend. That was the end of the connection. She wasn't coming back after that. So the guys go fishing. Clearly they don't know how to fish. Phil over here with his line completely tangled up. I believe it was Quentin that said he's allergic to seafood, so he don't know why he's there either. They don't know what they're doing. Here come the pretty girl crew. We got Lee and Aries and Kat. So they came over to go fishing with the guys. It was a cute little situation, whatever. Lee was sitting there having a moment, not even having a moment, having a conversation with Quentin. And if we're to believe what it is that we see, then old girl Janelle came busting out the door talking about, babe, you caught a fish. And the fish was literally like this big. I heard somebody, I think it was Lee, called it a goldfish because that's what it looked like. Babe, you caught a fish. You know it. We're going to eat good tonight. So, Lee is annoyed because she said every time Quentin try to take a breath, here come Janelle. It appears that way. I don't know how the editing is going, to be honest, but however they editing it, Janelle still always seems to be, doing the most, because that was a lot. Chris and Lee have a little date. Chris said, is it a date? It's not a date. They're on a getaway, but they have a little moment away alone. Lee was over there fishing off the dock with Phil, and Chris came and said he needed to get his woman. So there's that. Anyway, they have a little time by themselves, and he says something. He said a couple of things, but the first thing he said was, given all the chaos, he had to pull some strings. Okay, what does that mean? Given all the chaos, he had to pull some strings. I don't know what strings he was pulling, but then he pulled out a bag with a gift for Lee. Okay. Oh my God, that's so cute. I get it, girl. I like a good gift too. So I know, she was happy. She was appreciative, but of course, because she got a gift. Now, he done brought her some shoes. I think that's a weird gift to give somebody you don't know. She said she liked them, and then he followed, she was all warm and fuzzy, and that's cute or whatever. And he said, the gift came in impeccable time. Chris, are you out here ordering gifts like it was specifically for Lee, or were you just gonna give it to whoever, whoever you needed to like manipulate this week? We know it ain't Jessica. She wasn't about to get no shoes with her combative ass. We was done with that. Aries is now Phil's woman. We see that every week. You admitted it yourself, even though you trying to still do whatever it is you're doing. Honey, you lost Aries when you pulled that picture from behind your mama's that picture of your mama from behind the couch. I feel like that was the moment when I knew Chris was on bullshit. See, in the beginning, Chris was just this quiet guy who went under the radar because he wasn't doing nothing but smiling and big, shit-eating grin that he does all the time. So you're like, oh, the guy with the big smile. Now, we had Habibi with the sheet on his head and Marvin, the booty worshiper. So it was easy for Chris to kind of get lost in the sauce. But now that we're down to so few people, his true colors are shining. Now, when he pulled that picture of his mama from behind the sofa, I was done with him, though. I was like, that's weird. I just feel like on the first day. Not only did he do that, he fake cried. Now, I said then, is he really choked up? Is he on bullshit? And now I see for sure he was on bullshit. He was trying to manipulate Aries. I don't think she went for it. She was looking to me like she was trying to figure out what the hell it was that he was trying to get to. Every week you get to know Chris, the more I get to see is something wrong with him. That's what I think. You got to be careful about these guys that just come across so sweet and innocent and manipulate the public, but be saying things like servitude and combative woman. It makes me fear of what happens when you get behind closed doors with this nigga. Because he's a little bit. He said something else too about how he know how to turn his switch off and on. And I would like to see, well, I guess we all got to see what happened when the switch get flipped, honey. He better, keep that switch on lockdown, because once he flipped that switch up, it's not a good look. And I feel like that was a mild version of what it could be. I don't care what y'all say. Something wrong with him. So, yeah, he's having gifts delivered in order to manipulate the situation, because he certainly didn't buy them. Like, I mean, I guess it's cute or whatever, Lee, and you can feel how you feel because you were the one that got the gift, and you should be appreciative. I mean, somebody bought you a gift. I'm just wondering if the gift was for you all along, or it happened to be for you based on how the chaos went out and went down. So, yeah, Chris thinks shit. So Marie and Jessica sit down and have a little talk, and she, basically explains to him why she felt the way she did about being called combative. And if he's an activist and all of that, he should know that. she basically told him like, we good, but from here on, you can keep it pushing because I'm not trying to be connected to none of y'all. Who had to, I mean, clearly Jessica will go home next. There's no point in keeping her here. You know what I mean? So I don't even know what she gonna do. She should probably eliminate herself. Like, who is she gonna be spending time with on the next episode? So yeah. Um, Chris takes Aries on a date. I don't know why. We know that they're not a thing, but they did have a connection. They went, he was with a bow and arrow, archery. That was the date. Out in the woods. Out in the woods with Chris and a bow and arrow seems suspect. Like an episode of Dateline, I'm trying to tell you. Chris basically said like he knows she would Phil, but he's a better match than Phil. So I don't know why he knows that, but according to him, moving on. The getaway is over. Everybody's packing their stuff. Chris is concerned that what happened with Jessica might affect him. He's a little nervous because, he don't want to be on the chopping block, but, since Marie busted him out about the whole combative comment, even though he denied it, I think he knows that everybody knows it was him. What happened next, child? Oh, Kat and Marie go on a date. This is weird. They're trying to see if they feel intimate towards one another. They don't. Ain't nobody interested in Marie's little doughboy, chubby, bubbly self that don't do nothing but lay on the couch until 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. She brings up the whole thing about spirituality. I'm guessing, since they talked about the tarot card, she was basically letting him know, like, for her, that's not a problem. So what does he do? Pull out crystals out of his pocket. Like, he come with a gift to try to smooth things over. Why are you bringing her a gift of crystals? It just seems weird. And I don't think crystals are weird. I definitely don't think I don't connect crystals with spirituality. This is just me. I don't know what other people, do with their belief systems, but I do understand the power in crystals as it relates to science, like how people maybe come balanced based on, like I said, science and how your body may react to crystals and things of that nature. For me, it has nothing to do with the spirits, but whatever. Anyway, he got some, so I guess you like that or whatever. Mari said he's working on dual citizenship. I feel like he be around a lot of people that do a lot of things, and then he comes back and like claims it as his own. He plans to take advantage of this, 10 years from now, but okay. Like, how old are you, Marie? Like, wouldn't you want to like work on your dual citizenship so you can just start traveling? What are we waiting 10 years for? That sounds crazy. What does that entail? Do you have to wake up early? Clearly not. Clearly you can work on dual citizenship from, 2 to 3 in the afternoon after you get up and chill for a minute. For whatever reason, Kat said he's checking all her boxes. He is not, but okay, Kat, for the sake of being on TV, I guess this is what we got to do. I don't have a box that Mario could check. None of them. None of my boxes. Just saying. Janelle and Quentin go on a date. They like each other, I guess. He wants to know, how does she handle conflict resolution? She will pull up, put her hands on the bitch, and make sure everybody knows that Janelle's in the room. If that's what she got to do. You saw how she behaves. Is that going to change? No, she is very much set in her way. So piss her off and see, don't you be driving on 4 flat tires. That's all I have to say. She's not going to calmly resolve anything. That's not who she is. That's not what she does. She will slap a bitch, however, if given, the right opportunity, whether it presents itself or not. Yeah. Aries and Phil go on a date. We know they like each other, but when you like somebody, you have to, like, when you're for real talking about getting involved with them, have to get past the butterflies in your stomach and that because they're an attractive couple. They look good together. But Aries has been married twice. She has 2 children. She don't have time, Phil, for you to be trying to figure your life out still. So she's concerned about stability. She's like, at this point, like, you know, she's like, at this point, is it a good time to be adding a relationship to everything we got going on? And Phil says, now's a great time. It would have been 4 months ago. And I was like, 4 months ago, Phil? What's different between, like, I feel 4 months ago was just a minute ago. The way time is going so fast, like, what happened 4 months ago between now and 4 months ago that makes things so different? He said he lost his father last year, and then right after that, lost his grandfather. So grieving is a process I know that you got to go through. And maybe, 4 months ago, he was still in the funk, and now he doesn't feel the same way. So he said he's good with his work situation. He just wants somebody to ride the ride with him. And I get that. I also understand why Aries is not so much concerned, but just on pause, maybe, like, as to, Phil switching around so much with his career path. I think sometimes it takes some people longer than others to figure out what they want to do. I don't judge that. I got lucky. I found my path early on, but I still took my own road. You know what I mean? I could have done things differently, but I chose happiness. And sometimes choosing happiness will set you back financially, or maybe not push you ahead financially. I don't think set you back is a good way to say it. I don't think sometimes choosing happiness will sometimes keep you from moving forward more quickly. I've never changed my career. He seems to be in changing his a lot. I don't think that's a problem. However, Phil, if you go, I mean, if you're going to be in a relationship, you have to share this type of thing. But you have to not be sensitive when somebody is concerned that you've made these choices and switches so often, especially when you're saying things like, I wasn't good 4 months ago, but now I am. Because if you would have said 4 years ago, if you would have said a year ago, I'm in a different place than I am now. But you can't be too hard on Aries for being on pause, because it has taken you this long to get to where you feel like you're happy in your workspace. Because who knows what you're gonna feel like 4 months from now? Because that seems to be like, I'm just saying. So I like them, but I mean, that's how relationships get started, because we ain't gonna call this a relationship. She been married twice, so she knows that you can't just jump into something and, because we feeling each other and you be rubbing my feet and stuff, don't mean nothing. Sorry, that stuff wears off real fast. So we at the ladies' lounge finally. Do they call them up or do they dress them? Because it seems to me that the coordinating and the colorful, outfits that they have on, I mean, they're beautiful, but I feel like the way they match so well, it was like everybody had on a nice, beautiful jewel tone, and then Janelle's outfit was made up of all the tones put together. It was cute or whatever, but I feel like they got a phone call about that. Who's in your top? Aries, of course, Phil. Janelle, of course, Quentin. Lee's top is Chris. Kat, she's Kristen Morier. Kat, go home. Kat, go home. Jessica, go home. Lee, go home. Oh, yeah, just go home. Jessica don't have no top because she mad at Chris and Maria. Seems as though they turned on her, and now they're friends with each other, and she's the one that's on the outs. She said Chris is at her bottom now because she don't appreciate all of that, calling her combative. And the ladies, sorry, the ladies jumped in and started caping for Chris. It was irritating as hell. He said he didn't say that. I wonder how they feel now knowing that he did say that. I saw an interview with Kat. She's still like, we cool, but Kat is a different breed. I don't know. I feel like she's a little bit young, and like I said, I feel like her energy towards Jessica has a lot more to do with, and I mean, maybe shit. Chris got a lot of money. That seems to be high on her list of things. He got a lot of money. He could pay all the bills, and She looking, she said, this is not what she said here on, the episode of Ready to Love, but on her interview with Crystal XO, she said she be saying a Portia prayer. You know how the people said they was out there saying a Sierra prayer? She be saying a Portia prayer. So, girl, maybe Chris is the one for you. I don't know. Anyway, Jessica's still angry. She threw some shade Lee's way, talking about Chris can't do nothing for me. He can't buy me no gift. And Leah's like, what does that mean? Like, are you shading me? It was. Now, even though she tried to act like it wasn't, it was. And I don't think she was mad about not getting a gift. She just saying that that's what this nigga did. And Lee, he did. Like, he ordered shoes, and then you just happened to be the one he got them for. He said it himself, like he had to make some things happen under those circumstances. And a good thing it came through when it did. Did he order them like on Amazon overnight? I'm just saying. Who's on the bottom? Kat's bottom is Quentin. Aries' bottom is Moye. Lee's bottom is Moye. I would say I'm going to edit that out, but I'm probably not. Like I told y'all before, something about being in front of this light gets me yawning. Janelle, her bottom is Chris. Obviously, because he out here calling her girl combative, and that's just what we cannot have happen. At the end of the day, the bottom two are Chris and Moye. I'll be glad when he go home so I don't have to try to say his name no damn more. Why is he still here? Anyway, he's on the bottom with Chris. Aries takes out Moye, and when he seen Aries, he should have knew right away. I'm sure he did the because we ain't on no real date. What is wrong with him? Does he believe this hype? Does he believe these women want him? They don't. Because you don't do shit. You name off a lot of shit, but I don't think you do anything. I'd be curious to know, like, where do you work at, Moye, for real? Anyway, he's not going home. Let's just get to the good stuff. He's not going home. They decided he's ready to love one more time. Now they sent Jessica out to let Chris know what it is. This is a setup. Like production wanted to see this go down the way it did, and they gave them all, everything they needed. Man, this daggone last part of the day got more damn notes than the whole daggone episode. Anyway, this scene is super chopped up. I would love to see it unedited so I could see how things escalated to where they got to, because it just didn't really make sense. They started out very cordial and then they start chopping the shit up. So, what a great weekend. It was a great weekend. It was a much needed weekend. We had time to see each other outside of our element. It was real cute in the beginning. And then she said, we started on top, and then we have a disconnect, and we kind of, went our separate ways. What exactly was the disconnect? She asked him, and he said, I told you I needed a softer side. Because he's a soft ass nigga. So he needs you to be as soft too, girl. She brings up being called combative, and that's when things shifted. So, I guess, like I said, it was really chopped up. But she said, based on the whole combative word, the ladies decided that you're not ready to love. And whoa, that's when the shit really popped off. He snapped. He said, you are combative and you are a mean girl. You and Janelle, both of y'all are mean girls. That part is true. He said, he's a man first and he commands respect. And she asked, well, when did I disrespect you? And he went off. He said, you don't know anything about me. Now, I wonder why he said that. What did she say about him that made him say, you don't know anything about me? Because I know Janelle was over there on live saying that some people were not heterosexual males. And so I don't know if she threw something like that out there to get him worked up, because he says, you don't know nothing about me. F you and F everything about you. And like he was just trembling and worked up into tears. And in the confessional, he said she tried to put him down. And clearly that part was edited out where he said she tried to put him down. Look, it's a lot of Jessica's mean, and if he felt combative, then that's how he felt. And I'm gonna give you that. Like, I suppose if that was his experience, if he saw her as combative, that's what it was. And I don't even know, like, she said she wasn't worked up about the word, but she was worked up about the word. And I see why. I feel like if somebody had called me combative and I knew I wasn't, I don't know that I would have been that worked up, honestly. Like, like I said, I see why. I see why being called aggressive and combative is problematic, especially towards Black women. But I don't know, if some negative comment came from a nigga I ain't feeling, and I know that he's saying that because he's pussy, then I probably won't be that worked up, to be honest. Um, like I said before, she's heard it before. And so he struck a nerve, I feel like. These are my assumptions. I feel like that's what it was. He's also insecure, very insecure, as he sits there with his hat made of hair. I'm going to just say it. I was so irritated by the facial hair and like it's patchy as hell under here and all of these like hair bumps. Like, if you got all this money, Chris, see an esthetician because you need some help. And then it's like chopped off back here down to the skin, and then all of a sudden he got a hat made of hair waves. Now, I've seen these boys down here on the Instagram with the wig getting glued on the top of their head. And when you sitting in a room with a room full of women and they all got synthetics and things, and all of them snuck there with, lace fronts and stuff. So I'm not judging him, but I feel like that's part of his insecurity, because he won't hear like what's the boy's name? Marie. He won't hear like Marie. Marie got the waves. His waves, I believe, are authentic, but I think that's the only thing that the world gave him with some daggone waves, because the rest of what he's bringing to the table is nothing, trash, boo. Anyway, yeah. So this man got up here and showed his ass, and I feel like for somebody who was talking about women can't lead because they're too emotional, showed his emotional ass with all the fuckity fucks that he threw at this lady. I was like, and she was sitting there very calm. It was so weird. She was sitting there super calm, like as if he was flipping his shit by himself. Allegedly, the people said that she tweeted something about him throwing a chair. I did not see the tweet, but I guess she took it back down. He probably did. Maybe not threw a chair at her, but like got up. You know how you get up at the chair, go flying or what have you? It was a lot, Chris. And if you're that emotional over staying in, because at the end of the day, you don't have no connection here. Like, not no romantic connection. You just didn't win the game, Chris. Is that what you do when you don't win the game? Have y'all ever seen this compilation that goes around about like these kids and somewhat young adults like throwing full on tantrums when they lose their video game, and things go flying and TVs get busted? It's really interesting. And I felt like that's the same energy Chris was giving. Like, he was sitting there like, and I was like, is he gonna cry? For what? If the love of your life is not here, go home. Go home and go back to work. You got a lot of work to do. Go ahead and get to the house and take that picture of your mama from behind the couch and go ahead and hang it up. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that was this week's episode of Ready to Love. I'm so ready to get to the reunion. You just do not know. Oh, let me take that back. If you've been watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about. At this point, after 4 months came out of Phil's mouth, I'm not gonna sit up here and hope that she do that either. I just feel like, Phil, 4 months, Stop it. Anyway, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel. What am I gonna do now? What's next? Oh yeah. I'm gonna come back and talk about Shirley Strawberry and the drama she got going on over there with her husband, Ernesto. Yeah, that's what I will talk about next, y'all. So anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all. See you on the next one. Bye.